Meta Joe. So, little detail I didn't actually speak about in my first ever playthrough of this game. I do want to jump in and add that in now while I have you guys. So this is Caden. Obviously, everyone knows Baby Boy Caden. Let me do this in this mode to make it simpler. This is Caden. Everybody knows Caden. This is our new companion, Ashley. So, we'll get more characters in the span of the game. Can I not go this way? Am I stuck? Can I not? This is weird. Alright. We'll get more companions in the span of the game. But it's important to note that just like Shepard has a Paragon and Renegade system, that they can you can go up or down on it, obviously, or on the individual points. You can go up both technically. Each character also has their own technical alignment that dictates what order in a conversation, what talking points they have in a conversation. Let's say you have a random quest that has to do with doing a terrible act or killing the bad guy in order to save a hostage. But you have to shoot through the civilians to save the hostage, right? Renegades will take the shot. Paragons will want to save the hostage first and let the bad guy get away potentially. That's the way that rolls. Now, Ashley is typically a more renegade-centered character, being the second most renegade on the team by default. Caden is second most Paragon on default. Certain characters, depending on how you talk to them, Paragon or Renegade, can be influenced up or down that chart. So, for example, Ashley could potentially become the most Paragon if you talk to her down a certain path of dialogue. This is not something that carried over through to Mass Effect 2. I totally forgot that it's a thing in Mass Effect 1, the last time I played the game, which was years ago. Another character also has a type of morality you can influence, so that way they go, I think, up or down the Paragon or Renegade scale. It's been a little while, I've forgotten for this particular character. I do know it influences one thing in Mass Effect 2. Forget I said that. Alright. Now on with the game.
Glad to see you're okay, Commander. Commander, I'm glad to see you're okay. Losing Jenkins was hard on the crew, and I'm glad we didn't lose you too.
Yeah, how are you doing?
Things were pretty rough down there.
Yeah, you never get used to seeing dead civilians. Doesn't seem right somehow. But at least you stopped Saren from wiping out the whole colony.
Alright. You did great, Caden.
I couldn't have done it without you.
We're Marines. We stick together. And I'm just sorry that we lost Jenkins.
Jenkins will be missed.
Yeah, I wish I could have done something to save him.
I was there. You did everything right. It was just bad luck.
Yeah, honestly.
It's been a hell of a shakedown cruise. Our first mission ends with one Spectre killing another. The Citadel Council's not going to be happy about that. Probably use it to lever more concessions out of the Alliance.
You know your stuff.
You've got a good grasp of the situation. You a career man?
Yeah, a lot of biotics are. We're not restricted, but we sure don't go undocumented. May as well get a paycheck for it. Besides, my father served. I made him proud when I enlisted. Eventually. But is that why you're here? Because of your family?
We are farmers. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba.
My family were homesteaders on Mindwar. I'm the only one left. But I've moved beyond that.
Oh, that's right, a cruise. I imagine that bought you any post in the fleet. Word is we're heading for the Citadel, ma'am. Can you, tell me why?
The captain hopes the ambassador can get an audience with the council. Tell them what Saren's been up to.
Makes sense. They'd probably like to know he's not working for them anymore. Whatever happens, we'll be ready, Commander.
God, I like Caden's conversation way more. Because if you're a male shepherd, you talk to Ashley for a second. She's like, oh man, it's weird being new here. I feel bad that Jenkins died because I'm kind of like taking his place. So yeah. I played so little with Caden, with Femshep, that like it's a breath of fresh air.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
Before we lose this dialogue option forever, what do you know about the captain?
I've served with him for a few tours now. He knows when to let things slide and when to crack the whip. The crew knows he's seen pretty much anything they'll ever run into. And he cares about the people under his command.
That's good.
Goodbye, Commander.
Hey, Ash.
I'm glad you're okay.
Oh, that's awesome. In this version, you can talk to both of them.
After what happened to Jenkins.
When you have Femshep, you can just talk to both of them. When you're male Shep, you can only talk like directly to Ash because Caden's busy.
Jenkins was a valuable part of this crew.
Part of me feels guilty over what happened. If Jenkins was still alive,
I really like this Femshep I made.
here.
You're a good soldier, Williams. You belong on the Normandy.
Thanks, Commander. I appreciate that.
Things were pretty rough down there. Are you okay?
I've seen friends die before. Comes with being a Marine. But to see my whole unit wiped out, and you
I really like the way Ashley looks, and Caden, especially in the remaster. It's really beautiful.
If you hadn't shown up.
We couldn't have done it without you, Williams.
Thanks, Commander. I have to admit, I was a little worried about being assigned to the Normandy. It's nice when someone makes you feel welcome.
I think you're gonna fit in here just fine, Williams.
Thanks, Commander.
Alright, cool. Anderson's in here. Looking up porn, probably.
Go speak to Joker when you're ready.
You saw he leaned in, right? Didn't want me to see. So, I'm reviewing the footage from the first 2 episodes. Good stuff, short stuff. I think I'm gonna try a little bit. I'm not gonna cover all the same topics I covered in my first playthrough. It's not gonna be as long, and I'm probably gonna end up showing a lot less content than I did originally. Thank you. But I'm feeling like I'm probably gonna maintain a little bit more talky talk from now on, just because I'm like, I like when I do the talky talk. I like when I sit down and talk about something that's genuinely interesting. And, you know, I can imagine there's people that are watching this LP for the first time and aren't going to bother to go back to the old one for my talking points. And some of those talking points are probably a day. Hut up. Alright. You know, so I figure we'll still talk about stuff every once in a while. We'll give characters the time of day. That was a really good conversation with Caden. If I had to pick one or the other, I'd probably stick with Caden, honestly. As far as, like, whose dialogue you get to hear first. And we're in space. So you can see here, this is just a skybox. You can kind of see the edges of it, like right there. So there are certain parts of the backdrop like that I feel like are much more noticeable in the remaster. Like here I'm looking, I'm like, I can totally see the edge of space right there. Like, like right there. Oh. Like I can totally see the edge surface to the ceiling. Like this is just a room. It's really funny. Whereas I feel like in the original, I couldn't see that. Also, when we get to the Citadel, you'll see... Also, I'm going to talk full spoilers. The first game I didn't, when I did it play through the first time. This time, I'm going to just spoiler it up, honestly. As much as I can. There are certain things I'll leave out.
See that taxpayer money at work.
My big thing with this, after playing some of my playthrough on Insanity with my male shepherd profile, is everything looks really good, obviously. But the 3 best things are like the textures on certain armors and materials. Human skin and appearances and aesthetics looks really good for the most part. And certain vistas, like the way the sun and in certain areas when we land on them in different planets, feels like there's a level of detail added in a lot of areas. It's really nice.
Look at the size of that ship.
The Ascension. Flagship.
In some cases, the characters look a little plasticky. Ashley kind of is the one that bounces the most between like kind of plasticky and good. Depends on the lighting, honestly. I'm assuming there's more that's gonna patch in with some of these looks.
This main gun could rip through the barriers in any ship in the Alliance fleet.
Good thing it's on our side then.
Citadel Control, this is SSV Normandy, requesting permission to land.
Stand by for clearance.
Yeah, I was watching Seth Green, Joker, in one of the cutscenes coming up in the playthrough, and it feels like in a lot of cases the lip syncing isn't as good. And I imagine with the new models and the new textures with everything, I imagine it's probably a little bit difficult to make sure all the lip syncing is perfect. I don't know, it just feels like it's off. I don't know if it was good before. I feel like it was slightly better. But everything looks good, and in a lot of cases, everything almost looks the same. And so that's honestly, if anything, that's probably just a godsend in and of itself. That was the backdrop I was talking about. We'll get a better look later, but that's what I meant. Like certain, and this is obviously more artificial fake looking, but this all looks good.
If the Geth attacked a Turian colony?
The Turians don't found colonies on the borders of the Terminus systems, Ambassador.
Humanity was well aware of the risks when you went into the Traverse.
What about Seren? You can't just ignore a rogue Spectre. I demand action!
You don't get to make demands of the Council, Ambassador.
I talked about this in my first playthrough. Like, yes, Saren's the bad guy, and yes, the cutscene told us he's a bad guy. Which I really wish they had used his original model for before he has the Geth arm, because it's very obvious he's got the Geth arm.
I see you brought half your...
Just the ground team from Eden Prime.
Yeah, it's us.
In case you had any questions.
I really wish... This is one of the weaker parts of Mass Effect 1, is the early part Citadel story parts.
Sounds like you convinced the council to give us
It's
an order.
really weak because it's just like, oh, we hate Saren. We gotta stop Saren. It's like we don't even know Saren. Like, watch this.
Saren's a threat to every human colony out there. He needs to be stopped. The council has to listen to us.
Settle down, Commander.
Yeah, like, whoa, that came out of left field. You barely know the guy. In fact, you technically haven't even met him yet.
Eden Prime was a chance to
We only seen him in a cutscene.
Instead, Nihilus ended up dead and the beacon
Like,
was destroyed.
one dock worker said he saw a guy named Saren, and we're just jumping at it.
In terms of evidence to support our
We don't even have, like, footage.
Otherwise, the council might use this as an excuse to keep you out of the Spectres.
I'm just saying.
Come with me,
It's a big jump out of left field to make you care, which is so weird because it's just like, Dragon Age does a much better job of this.
Top level. I'll make sure you have clearance to get in.
And that's why I hate politicians.
Yeah. So, we're in the Citadel, major hub area. There's a couple races and people we're going to meet that some of you might not be familiar with, some of you will be familiar with. Let's see here. There's a couple of quests we can pick up along the way that we're not going to touch for a little while. Is her bug line going to start? Because I don't feel like explaining it right now, honestly. I don't feel like explaining her bug line. I don't want to be the person that says Ashley's not a racist, but I don't want that to be me today. Because it feels like it's always me. Alright, here we go. I always get super nervous when I do these. That was a quest. We'll pick it up later. A lot of these side quests I'm not going to show you guys. Just because, like, I've either shown them once already, or you can discover the little tiny strokes of storytelling in the story overall. Here's a texture I really love. The Elcor look like they have much more detail. They're much more lightly... Their skin tone has a lot more variety to it. It's not just gray. It's like it's got this pinkish gray. The top looks much hardened. They're slow. They probably stay out in the sun a lot. This is a quest. Essentially, well, let's let this Elcor talk at least.
Hello there, human. Sincere apology, but I am here on business and cannot be distracted right now.
Oh, what's wrong?
You seem distressed. Is there something I can do to help?
Alarmed response. You overheard that, did you? This is all going so wrong, and it is the Asari consort's fault.
I heard Tally's photo was put in properly. I've seen it. I had to spoil myself. It looks really good. It looks pretty good, all things considered, honestly. Very happy about that. I wish they fixed more things. I wish they added more things.
What did this Asari do to get you so upset?
So the Elcor here were one of the first species to come to the galactic table of politics. Very slow, not very expansionist. Their lines of dialogue are such that they say their emotions and the tone of what they're going to say first, because they communicate differently between different members of the species, and it's hard to... Sorry, they communicate differently with their own species, and it's hard to communicate that properly when they don't have the same senses as we do, or the same type of senses.
Where can I find this Asari?
So he wants us to find an Asari consort, a famous celebrity, basically, a mystic, an oracle. Half celebrity, half mystic. And figure out, like, oh man, there's a whole bunch of lies about me, and I'm a politician. Well, lies/truths, and so on. This is Kalen. He's another Elcor. He's one of the ambassadors here.
I am Ambassador Kalen.
He tells us a bunch of stuff. Yeah, they can't. Their vocal expressions are actually more complicated, but they can't communicate them properly to other species. So that's why they say, "Hey, I'm happy to see you." That's a Volus. We'll get to him in a second. I'm gonna speed through this just because it's the Elcor.
Proudly.
I'd like to know.
Yeah, they're very small knit. I just need the codex points for them.
Goodbye, Ambassador.
You get a good sense of, like, our human ambassador gets his own office, and these guys get a shared office. Like, look at this tiny table. Look, that's your table for you, and you get a little big table because obviously you're a big boy. But they have to share. That's kind of messed up. Like, we're new. That's one thing I really like, and I'll say again about Mass Effect, is humans are the new people in town, and they're kind of treated like crap, and, like, deservedly so, because they're kind of bullies. And then, like, the species that have been here forever, like the Elcor and the Volus, are like, whoa, how come they get to do stuff? We've been here for years.
Earth Clan, you are in the wrong.
Little Darth Vader dwarves. They wear the suits because the atmosphere here isn't as breathable on their home planet.
Chastising remark.
They're the merchants of this universe. Nothing too complicated. We'll see some of them moving forward. Not a lot, though, to be honest.
What is this place?
Mass Effect 3 multiplayer gives us a chance to play as them. It's so much fun. It really is a ton of fun. And that's one of those things I hope they add to the Legendary Edition. They said they might. That's one thing they might add. If it is, I'm totally going to just play it because it's a bunch of fun. It's one of the highlights of Mass Effect 3, honestly, surprisingly enough.
Really? How long?
You seem...
Yeah. Anyway, those are my codex points. This is for experience.
Good day, Earth Clan.
Oh, I looked up also what the legendary scaling is for levels. Basically, it changes the level cap from 1 to 60 to 1 to 30. So you get experience just a little bit differently. And you get experience in levels differently, obviously, because there's less levels to get. And then the only other difference is you can reach max level in one level before you have to beat the game once, and then you can unlock getting the max level in any other playthrough. This character is not important, but they are related to a side quest in Mass Effect 2. They're not that important right now, though. They're just telling us about stuff.
The embassies are
I can't get over how good my Shepard looks. I'm really happy about that. Even, I remade my male Shepard for my Insanity playthrough, because I wasn't really happy with how they looked. I'm more happy with the second version of them. Not perfect, but I'm more happy with it. So, and I hope this gives BioWare the chance to improve their character creator in later games, because boy is it rough in some cases. Hold on, Human Delighted Welcome. Love that guy. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I don't want to explain Ashley dialogue yet. That's a loaded gun to explain. I don't want to even bother with that right now. Is this even real? Oh, it is real. Yeah, yeah, right here. It looks right over there. And then the human office is over there. Yeah. Cool. Let me just do this. We're gonna be getting a lot of codex entries. You notice I like saving before these is because typically these are one and dones. If you mess up, you can't really do it again, unless there's a trick about loading in and out that I don't know about. But they're not. It's not that you don't get the quest if you don't do the thing correctly. It's that you don't get the journal log for it right now. You can still go to that same system where the quest takes place and find the quest. It's just a chance to get experience too.
Commander Shepard,
I don't like losing that.
I didn't expect to see you here.
This is Turian.
Did Ambassador Udina send you?
No, he did not. But who are you?
Have we met before?
No, but I know you well enough. I'm Executor Palin, head of CSEC.
He's basically the chief inspector of the cops on the Citadel.
Arrives on the Citadel.
Turians, I've noticed, their face paint and a lot of their features are a lot more distinct. That's what a lot of this remaster has done, is like kind of gone into more detail and make a lot of features just more distinct. Anyways, tell me about the investigation into Saren.
Investigation into Saren.
Sorry, Commander.
That's fair.
Make a habit of giving out.
CSEC is just cops.
Of course, as the CSEC representative.
He doesn't like Spectres.
They're the right hand of the counselor, so they like.
We'll let him talk about this one part.
More like the underhand.
Because I think it's important to the kind of the themes of the game. Mass Effect 1, I'll say, has a very important theme. Once we're done talking to him, I'll kind of go into detail about it.
What do you have against the Spectres?
I can't abide any organization that considers itself above the law. Especially when it's left up to each individual Spectre to decide when and how to bend the rules.
Sometimes you have to bend the law to keep people safe.
I've been with CSEC for 30 years. I've never had to break the law to do my job, not once.
Yeah, right. You expect us to believe none of your officers are corrupt?
There are over 200,000 CSEC agents. Some of them are going to be bad. But we don't turn a blind eye to corruption like the Spectres do. We do our best to find and punish any officer who breaks the law. Spectres, they'll never come under that kind of scrutiny.
The galaxy needs people like that. People who do the dirty jobs.
I agree. But they need to be held to a higher standard. They need to be accountable. Saren's out of control. We both know that. But because he's a Spectre, the Council doesn't want to do anything about it. Is that the kind of person this galaxy needs?
But not all Spectres are like Saren.
True. But the potential is always there.
This is another good part here. I'll let them
You're
talk.
not too fond of humans.
No, I just don't trust your kind. Not yet. You humans are eager to take all the power you can get, and you're being given a lot. If the Council wants to make humanity their new favorite pet, that's their business. But I don't have to like it.
The Council treats us like second-class citizens. We have to fight for everything we get.
Good. Then fight for it. But don't expect the rest of us to just sit back and let you take it. I'm a busy man, Commander. Are we done here?
I'll be going now.
Goodbye.
Oh, sweet. It's a perfect chance to talk. So yes, he brings up a lot of good points about the system in place, about how humans are being the new favorite because the Council likes a lot of what they have to offer as a society, as a species. Let's see what we want to do first. Leaf Charm where it is. Infiltrator we're going to pop. Tactical Armor I definitely want to pop. Let's see. Sniper Rifles I definitely want to pop. What's this? This is Average Objects, yes. 1, 2, 3. And I gotta do this at some point too. So we'll pop these 2 for now. What did I just get? Shield boost. That's a good one, yeah. Alright. Decryption. Let's see here. Let's start pumping points into this. Veteran isn't particularly hard, so we should be fine. Assault training, okay. He brings up a good point. I mentioned the human thing earlier about how humans are newcomers and they're kind of getting a lot. Let's see here. Yeah, they're kind of getting a lot of attention.
What do you want? Oh,
Also a lot of flack. So it's a mixed bag, and I like it. It's a tone that the later parts of the series loses.
right. So,
Because they go all in on humans are specials and are the only ones that can get anything done, and I really hate it. I think my eyeshadow is accidentally purple.
An Asari who works here as, that is, she helps people with.
You don't know anything about her.
No, sure,
Thanks, kid.
I will. Have fun, that is.
So that's one part of the series I really like in Mass Effect 1, tone-wise. I like that humans aren't special. They're just in the right place at the right time. They're not better than any other species. They're not anybody's favorites. In some cases they are, but that's as much a stigma as it is something that's good. And they really have to fight to earn their way to the top. If they even get to the top, which I really like. Are you real? Nope, you're a VI. So he brings up a good point. That's a through line for this series. I'm getting this for all Codex and experience. It's not important. And it's not important for us anyways.
The most recently added embassy belonged. The council gave a great deal.
It's hard to think when this is just in the background.
To expand interstellar trade.
Let's have a race moment.
It would be unfair.
She calls them lesser species. Lesser species?
I apologize if my personal.
That's not cool.
Since then, I am not.
Yeah, that's fine.
Goodbye.
Alright, I got some Codex points. Sweet.
Please enjoy your visit to the Citadel.
Bye. He brings up a good point in that in this society, the Council has Spectres. Spectres are super agents, above the law, answer directly to the main seat of power in the galaxy, the Council, and do anything to get the job done. They're basically... I don't have a good analog for them, actually. But they're basically just... They're not Secret Service. It's not like that. They don't bodyguard. They're basically just elite special operatives that can do whatever they want, whenever they want. And he's right. Executive Palin's right. They come under no scrutiny for their actions. The only thing they do is when they go out of control, send another person to kill them. No jail time. You just kill them. And so, like, it brings up a good message of, like, if Shepard is a Spectre, or becomes one, you know, what type of accountability do we hold for ourselves? Do we even have any? And it's a question that the series really never bothers really answering. It's just something the game gives you as a chance for gameplay building and role-playing purposes. So in that way, it's pretty good. But it does leave an opportunity for you to be able to actually challenge yourself, narratively speaking.
Welcome. I am Naelina.
We're here to see the consort.
Don't recognize you as one of our expected clients today.
I'm
Would
not.
you like me to see when the consort will be?
I need an appointment.
Can't I just go in?
I'm afraid not. Yeah, you must understand there are many.
Oh yeah, this Asari specifically, like the white on her face, the paint feels much more distinct.
With you.
Alright.
Commander Shepard, with the Alliance Navy.
Excellent. You should hear something in 3 or...
It's a long time. I didn't skip that.
Nobody's worth that much of a wait.
Unless A skips it. You see.
Well, that's not for me to judge. I have your name and you'll be contacted.
No,
Is
that
there
wasn't me.
anything else?
I think I'm done here.
Oh, well, I hope
I love Jennifer
you'll
Hale's
return
voice.
again in the future.
It's really good.
We always enjoy seeing new clients.
Mark Mears is also good.
Nelina.
Yes,
But
Shaira?
a lot of Jennifer's lines, her breathiness and her tone really carries around
Yes, of course, mistress.
the seriousness of a scene. Mark's kind of comes off as a bit more campy and actiony. There's a line at one point that they both say, but like the way Mark delivers it, it's on the double, mister.
She'd like to meet with you now.
Sure.
Where do I go?
Just head upstairs.
I'll be mostly picking upper right for Paragon points, but when possible, I'll pick middle or down when appropriate. But I just want to make sure I have enough Paragon points for certain things in the games. My brother's a private back on Earth.
My brother's a private back on Earth.
Played this game too many times. So we're gonna meet with Shaira, see if we can't help relax her problems, and solve the Elcor's problems as well. Was his name Zeltan? Yeah.
That is close enough, Commander. I've heard a great many things about you since your arrival here in our Citadel.
Yeah, who you though?
What exactly do you do?
That depends on your needs. I offer advice to some, comfort to others. I have a certain...
The eyeshadow for the Asari has been made really out of hand a little bit. Some of them, anyways. Alright, talk to me.
Maybe I can help.
Yeah, I think I gave my Shepherd pink eyeshadow by accident. I think it was a slip of the controls.
He wanted me
That's fine. She looks fine. It's very light.
Now he spends his days in Korra's den, drinking and spreading lies about me. If you would speak to him as a fellow soldier, I believe he will listen to you and let the matter be.
What happened between you?
I respect his privacy too much to go into the details. If he wishes to tell you what happened, that is his prerogative.
What exactly do you want me to tell him?
Appeal to his sense of honor. Remind him of his position as a general.
As a general.
If you can convince him to stop spreading lies about me, I would be very grateful.
I like how we just stand there while she's clearly trying to seduce us.
Now I must ask you to take your leave. I have many clients waiting to see me.
They didn't fix the bug where your character looks over their shoulder and keeps walking when they talk to somebody. Watch this.
Big place.
She's not doing it now. Let me see if I do it now.
Take a seat if you like. It may be...
Yeah, see? They kind of like look over their shoulder a little bit and they have like a stilted walk. If I stop, then the walk becomes normal again. It's very odd. Anyways, you have any,
To aid Shaira, it's quite
Tell me about the guy I'm trying to find.
The general.
He's been seeing the consort for longer than I can remember. Then one day, he stormed out of here furious. He hasn't been back since. He was always very respectful to the acolytes, very noble.
I don't know what that means. I'm assuming he means that he resisted any sexual advances you made. No idea. Anyway, well, this is a chance to learn about the Krogans. That's a big conflict, though. I'm going to speed through it. Here, I'm going to speed through it for you, and then I'll give you the cliff notes. Hold on. Again, this is for Codex entry points.
Hard to believe.
Oh, that bug is still here. The audio doesn't play right for some reason. It either is played delayed, or depending on where your camera's positioned, it doesn't play at all, or it plays far away. It's confusing.
In the
Alright, hold on. She's gonna say a lot of words that are important for background lore.
pursued their retreating fleets. Unfortunately, the Krogan for a full century.
Alright, cool, thanks. Alright, so this is a Krogan. It's a species we'll run into very soon. At some point during the galaxy's formation of galactic powers, they opened one of those big teleporting relays that we keep firing through to travel to distant places. And we met a species of, well, not we, it was the other races before we came along, named Rachni. Kind of looked like that, to be honest. Named Rachni. The Rachni came and started killing everybody. We uplifted the Krogan, who were not caveman, but they didn't have spaceflight just yet. And they were nuking each other. And we used them to kill the Rachni. Then the Krogan were all like, we want more land, and they started taking other planets. Then they had the Krogan rebellions. Then the Turians, the bird person you saw over there, they helped deploy a sterility plague, which is actually a sterility adjustment rate virus, kind of, into all the Krogan, so that way they couldn't repopulate as much, and also demilitarize them. But the statue's still here as a memorial to how they were once heroes. And, kind of not heroes anymore, but we remember them. We remember them. We'll get more into detail about that later. Again, the Spark Notes. This is the Spark Notes.
Ah, human. This one is greatly pleased
This is a fun
to see
race.
you here in my decadent emporium.
Who you?
Who are you?
This one's face name is Delaninder, though many in this place simply refer to it as Delan.
This is a Hanar. They are jellyfish that are normally living underwater, and I think speak through bioluminescence, but they found a way to communicate like this. Why do you talk like
Why do
this?
you refer to yourself as this one and it?
For the same reason that humans are so...
Culture, baby!
It is part of our culture. Specifically...
Yeah.
And we rarely do so with others.
Very family-oriented.
It is just our
Show me what you got, little mama.
Oh.
Hands up and wave. Yeah, that pink eyeshadow is gonna bother the crap out of me. What can you do? These are licenses. We'll learn about licenses later. Just know that if you're gonna buy anything, try to buy those when they're cheap. And buy
Commander, it is
metagel and grenade upgrades when possible. Just as a nice little upgrade. I don't need any of this. Yeah. Alright, let's move on. There's not much else to see, thankfully. At least not on our first trip through the Proscenium. So you can see it was basically a giant 5-armed station with the ring at the center. We're on the ring part where there's artificial daylight just above us. Oops. Hello, sir. Yeah, there's just artificial daylight above us as we travel around the ring. And it's like a halo ring effect where we just literally walk up and around thanks to artificial gravity. Very nice. Look at this smooth customer right here. Look at him go. Look at him do his walk. Damn, baby.
Anyone else hear that low hum? Sounds like it's coming from that statue. Makes my teeth tingle.
Yeah. Alright. Oh, this is kind of another not important one. Do I have time to explain it? No, I don't.
Please do not.
You know, I'll just wait for Ashley's section.
Oh, they've built themselves quite the...
So this is a keeper, the thing standing to the left of us.
The keeper
It's basically a weird bug guardian of the whole entire Citadel. You have to remember that the Citadel and the relays were left here by the Protheans in the lore, at least at this point in the story. And the keepers just kind of hang out here. They don't talk to anybody, and they explode when you touch them. So leave them alone, and they fix things and they help make sure everything runs properly.
access to
That's
these
basically
areas.
it. And that's art. That's a big art. I noticed things don't have... You used to be able to hit the trees. You used to have a hitbox. Now you can't. A little zoom in on the elevators. Yeah, you can skip the elevator rides now.
Council isn't going to ask me any questions, are they?
I doubt it.
This is the perfect example to
Now we
look at
just have
the
to
audio.
trust Ambassador Udina.
No, we don't, sir.
You saw it like it was far away here, and it got a little closer here. It's odd. It's my boy, and it's this guy. We saw him before.
Give me more time. Stall them.
Stall the council? Don't be ridiculous. Your investigation is over, Garrus.
This first part of the game, the Citadel can be kind of slow when you're starting up. It feels like a little bit of a stall.
Commander Shepard, Garrus Vicarian. I was the officer in charge of the C-Sec investigation into Saren.
Sounds like you don't like Saren.
Sounds like you really want to bring him down.
I don't trust him. Something about him rubs me the wrong way. But he's a Spectre. Everything he touches is classified. I can't find any hard evidence.
I think the council's ready for
What's the point of having an investigation if all parts of the person's file you're investigating are just locked off? How does that make any type of sense? Like, at all. We gotta investigate this guy's a criminal. Okay, what's his background record? You can't see that. Okay, what about his recent transaction history? You can't see that. Okay, what about his credit card purchases? You're not allowed to see those either. Alright. Can I look up his Google search history? No. Well then what's the point of having me investigate him? What is the point? There is no point. We don't think he's guilty, so we're not giving you anything. Alright, cool, thanks. Just tell me not to do it then.
The hearing's already started.
Don't pretend. Don't give me that bull.
The Geth attack is...
Oh great, that dog's barking now.
concern, but there is nothing to indicate Saren was involved in any way.
The investigation by Citadel security turned up no evidence to support your charge of treason.
It's because they didn't investigate anything.
In cold blood.
We've read the Eden Prime reports, Ambassador. The testimony of one traumatized dock worker is hardly compelling proof.
He's right.
I resent these accusations. Nihilus was a fellow Spectre and a friend.
That just let you catch him off guard.
We're really coming out wild with these accusations, honestly.
Seem to be involved when humanity makes false charges against me. And this must be your protege, Commander Shepard. The one who let the beacon get destroyed.
The mission to Eden Prime was top secret. The only way you could know about the beacon was if you were there.
With Nihilus gone, his files passed on to me. I read the Eden Prime.
I want to point out that he has a robot arm right now.
But what can you expect from a human?
From a human? Yeah.
Saren despises humanity. That's why he attacked Eden Prime.
I'm a little giddy to see that texture sometimes just pop in and out. Gives that little bit of charm.
You're not even ready to join the Spectres. He has no right to say that. That's not his decision.
Shepard's admission into the Spectres is not the purpose of this meeting.
Why did you make his hologram so high up?
The humans are wasting your time, Counselor, and mine.
I'll find proof, you bastard arrogant.
You can't hide behind the Council forever.
There is still one outstanding issue. Commander Shepard's vision. It may have been triggered by the beacon.
Are we allowing dreams into evidence now?
Yeah, the point of this trial is to testify against Saren. Why are we talking about my vision? It has no foundation to this.
Not wild imaginings and reckless speculation.
Do you have anything else to add, Commander Shepard?
I'm good, but I'll get the blue points.
You've made your decision. I won't waste my breath.
They made a decision before we even walked in.
The Council has found no evidence of any connection
She's
between
right.
Saren and the Geth.
There's no evidence. There's none.
Petition to have him disbarred
We have nothing.
is denied.
This is the part of the game that doesn't make any sense. Like, they want us to be really mad, but like there's nothing here.
This meeting is adjourned.
Like, we didn't have much to go on. This should have started with us setting up a meeting like a week from now and then going like, all right, we're smart enough to know that there's no way we can come at him with this flimsy amount of evidence. We need to collect evidence now while we're waiting for the trial. And then you could have a fun little like gameplay moment where you're actually collecting little bits of intel during the course of the story.
Every colony we
You know?
have at risk.
That would have been
The
fun.
world we control is in danger. Even Earth isn't safe.
I like how I like I like how it's just like one colony gets attacked and we're like every colony is at risk. And like technically it was always at risk, but no one was attacking before, so whatever. And as a colonist character, it's like this has been happening for years. Slavers, the Geth are just new. Anyways, you know Saren, right?
This history between you and Saren.
I worked with him on a mission a long time ago. Things went bad. Real bad.
Real bad. Real bad.
We shouldn't talk about this here. But I know what he's like. And he has to be stopped.
Alright, well now what do we do?
What's our next step?
As a Spectre, he's virtually untouchable. We need to find some way to expose him.
What about Garrus, that CSEC investigator? We saw him arguing with the Executor.
That's right. He was asking for more time to finish his report. Seems like he was close to finding something on Saren.
Alright, I'll find him.
Any idea where we could find him?
I mean, he was just there a second ago.
CSEC who can help us track Garrus down. His name is Harkin.
Forget.
Oh god, I wish I could kill Harkin somehow.
Last month, drinking on
I think you can really... Yeah, some Mass Effect 2 stuff, but I gotta look it up.
You won't have to. I don't want the Council using your past history with Saren as an excuse to ignore anything we turn up. Shepard will handle this.
I mean, that's a bit much, but I understand.
I'll take care of it.
I need to take care of some business. Captain, meet me in my office later.
Harkin's probably getting drunk at Cora's Den. It's a dingy little club in the lower
That's a
section.
bar.
Maybe there's another way to find evidence against Saren.
You should talk to Barla Vaughn over in the financial district. Rumor has it he's an agent for the Shadow Broker.
The Shadow Broker?
An information dealer. Buys and sells secrets to the highest bidder. I've heard Barla Vaughn's one of the top representatives. He might know something about Saren, but his information won't come cheap.
Alright, tell me the plot events of the book you were in prior to this game 20 years ago.
Saren have a history. What happened?
About 20 years ago, I was part of a mission in the Skillian Verge. I was working with Saren to find and remove a known terrorist threat.
I'm looking at the clock, this is dragging on.
But a lot of people died along the way. Innocent people. And the official records just covered it all up. But I saw how he operates. No conscience. No hesitation.
Sounds like he sucks.
1,000 innocent civilians.
Yeah, they go into the book goes into more detail about how Anderson was on a mission with Saren back in the Dizzity day. Didn't work out for them. It worked out for Saren just fine.
To make unpleasant decisions, but only if there's no other way. Saren doesn't even.
There's a lot of conversation pieces here. Barlavon is representative of the Shadow Broker. The Shadow Broker is an information dealer who works throughout the galaxy. He's been working for centuries. He knows they know every dark secret under the sun. They'll become more important in Mass Effect 2, but they got a little detail about them in Mass Effect 1 right now. Council and the Ambassador, that's a good topic, we'll get to it. Harkin's a piece of crap cop, but he was one of the first human cops on the Citadel. That's why they care so much about protecting him, at least at first. Now he's just a loser. Spectres are just an elaboration on how Spectres work, about how they have no accountability, but they get stuff done. So let me just... The Shadow Broker.
He's not a threat to anyone.
That's not important. Council and the Ambassador, this one's good.
Doesn't seem to get along with the Council.
He's just frustrated. The Council's always preaching that we need to be part of the galactic community. But for them, it's a one-way street. They want us to expand and settle unstable regions like the Skillian Verge and the Attican Traverse. But when we run into trouble, they don't want to help us out. Everyone knows it's only a matter of time until we get a seat on the Council. The Ambassador just thinks it should happen sooner rather than later. And I agree.
Alright, well, why do we even bother then?
Who cares if we get a seat on the Council? What's the big deal?
If the Council passes a ruling on an interstellar matter, we have to follow it. We don't have the fleets or political allies to defy them. Once we get a seat on the Council, we'll be able to influence those rulings, protect our own interests. No more jumping through hoops whenever we want something. Take this mess we're in now. If humanity had a seat on the Council, we'd just send the Citadel fleet out to take care of Saren and his Geth. Problem solved.
Honestly, if we had a seat on the Council, we could probably get more support for guarding the damn colonies to begin with.
Maybe they'd let us join the Council if we were more willing to cooperate with the other species.
Of course they would. If we did everything they told us to, they'd love to have us on the Council. But it wouldn't be much of a deal for us. I understand their side. They don't want us dominating the Council. It's founded on cooperation and alliances. But we have to look out for our own interests too.
And that's a good argument for how a lot of this game works, is do you bother getting to know the various species and working with them and giving up a lot in order to being able to be part of the galactic community? Or do you just go gun it for yourself and have everyone respect your sheer tenacity? It's a lot to go for. It's a lot to go for. That's basically the Paragon Renegade ideal in this game.
I should go.
Good luck, Shepard. I'll be over in the Ambassador.
Is giving a part of your own efforts towards the galactic community, or saying, screw you, follow my lead. Simple as that. Simple as the Paragon Renegade structure really needs to be. And then we'll get through this really quickly.
Up to some.
What? Oh, no, I wasn't. Never mind.
Little important note about this quest. You know what? He's not important. This is just scanning the Keepers. Basically, no one can study the Keepers because they always explode. Also, it's illegal to touch them.
So far, I've had mixed results.
But he wants to scan them to find out more about them because no one knows anything about them, and that's a good point. They operate the entire damn space station. We should know something about them.
I'll even send a few
something to put into context is the old version of this quest. I think there were 21 Keepers to scan. You had to go get all 21 that existed. Now you only have to get 20. I think 22 actually was the original number. So I can like do this and just kind of float around. So I'll show you all the ones in this area.
No, I'm waiting to speak.
Let's go Hoku. He's hanging out. There's one right here. There's 4 in this upper area in the Citadel Tower. There's 1. There's 2 behind me, and there should be 1 up here. I think to the left. Oh, no, to the right probably. Yeah, there it is. So we only have to get 20, and there's 22 in total, so you can end up finishing before you actually even find them all. Not too much of a change, honestly. Not much of a stressor. You don't, unfortunately, too. You don't get to have any lore detail about the keepers learned in this game. In Mass Effect 2, you get to get more lore details about the keepers as a result of this quest if you do it now. So, although it's funny because the lore details you end up learning about the Mass Effect 2, you end up learning regardless once you beat this game.
The Volus won't be joining the council for years.
See, I can hear them really well.
Sure. The humans are making a strong push, and you can bet the Volus
And then they're gone.
if they succeed.
I just want to point that out because it's always been really weird. Dragon Age has the same issue sometimes. It must be a problem with like the engine or some script, something or other. But that's what it is right now. So I think that's a good place to stop it for at least for right now. Enjoy being indoctrinated to subscribe as you see the ending card. Good.